Here we are. Here we are, Andrew. Get ready. We're live.
In 3, 2. No, I'm just kidding.
It's already happening. Yeah, we're here. Dude, I like your hat, man.
I like yours. I thought that I would wear one different tonight because I've been wearing Highland Parks, which I will represent Highland Park till I die.
Dude, they have a clean hat. They have a very clean hat. I like the camera.
My hat's not clean.
It's dirty.
My hat is very... I found that if you throw some... if you throw, like, Febreze in your hats...
Ugh.
But, like, you let them sit for a while, right? Like, you don't put it right back on.
Okay.
And you come back, the odor's gone.
Febreze?
Yeah.
I don't trust it. What's up, David? How we doing, bud? Dude, all I got to say is my hat may look clean. What's going on, Lewis? We got Fish Guy Lou in the house. Brian, glad to have you back, bud. Glad you're feeling better.
What are you talking about?
Huh? Brian Scave. He caught the vid, man. The vid got him.
Dude, I think we all caught the vid.
We were protected, too.
I think we all caught the vid. And you know who's down right now? Down and out?
Oh,
Our boy Ryan. Ryan is Izquierdo. He is fighting it fierce right now.
We'll pray for you, Ryan. Hang in there, bud. It sucks. If I have it, I don't know what's going on. But what I do know is that this hat may look clean, but it flew off in Poga. Oh. Let me tell you.
Wait
David,
a second. Was that intentional?
No. Not at all. But it put a hurting on me too, Dave. Don't worry about it. It was
Your hat flew off in Poga?
Yes.
But you went back and got it.
Dude, we found it. It floated. This is the only one that it's flown off like that that stayed up. Like that. They never stay up for me, dude. Do they always sink for you?
Bro, I mean, hats are pretty, unless it's raining and they're already drenched, I don't see it sinking.
Bro, all of mine have sunk.
What kind of hats are you using? Singable hats?
Dude, Richardson hats. I guess this is the only floating Richardson hat.
You should get a wait a second.
What is going on?
This is the Twilight Zone.
Are we being bamboozled?
Is he from the future?
That may or may not be our guest tonight. I mean,
is he from the future?
Oh my God, what is happening, dude? We got an awesome guest. I mean, he's already presented himself here. We're gonna talk big, giant snook, tarpon, just big stuff all around, even big bass. What are you playing with?
It's a little.
Oh, can I show mine?
Can I
show my little fella?
I like doing this.
I like holding it still and kind of just like back and forth in it.
Right. Have you ever done this thing with your finger where you're just like?
Oh God, yeah, you showed me that the other day. Stop! I don't want to do it no more.
It's like the same effect. I don't know. I like this. But yeah, no. So our guest has a cool thing going on. We've had a partner of his on previously.
That's right, Spencer Smith, yeah. Uncle Bink, the Uncle Bink Chronicles.
Yes. What's up, Caleb?
Who we got in here? Caleb. There he is.
Matt. It's Matt.
Is he sleepy?
I don't know.
Or is it like the Budweiser thing, like, yes, Matt? Right? That's what I'm going with. It's still cool. What's up? What's going on, Spence? Speaking of the devil. No, but dude, we're going to talk a little bit about what this is and why it attracts fish.
No, let's hit him with the power pole of bring in our main man, Kevin.
And let's get to
talking. Then put Spencer on the spotlight because I've got a question before we get started on anything.
Okay, let's do it. I'm down. Oh, I know exactly where this is going. So power pole right into controversy.
Things you let me see.
Bro, I straight up abandoned you. You did all the back end transitions that time.
Yeah, dude, you let me hang. I had no choice.
I went in to get the video set properly to set the scene.
Sure.
Kevin,
I'll let you slide.
What's going on, man?
Hey,
what's up, fellas?
Dude, we're just loving life. I'm just watching all your videos and being depressed that I'm not near snook.
Listen, I live down here, and I'm not always near snook. There's a reason they're such a prized fish. You know what I mean?
Absolutely,
That's
absolutely.
That's
It's
a
a
fact.
very accomplished feeling when you land a good one.
Very.
It is, and it's a very accomplished feeling when you identify certain things that are in your pocket. And Spencer,
Oh God!
I need your help. First off, look at this mug.
Come on, boys.
Enjoy asking what is in my pocket. A pair of weenies.
Yes, you do like the weenies, don't you, child? Oh, yes. Oh, come on. I know you won't. Hey, oh, come. Naughty, naughty. Why you teasing me? Enjoy.
There was no defense whatsoever. He was into it at that moment.
He just,
Oh, dude, what are you gonna do? You get a pair of weenies in your face, and you're already in bed. Like,
I don't think there's anything you can do. You just have to
you're
agree.
screwed.
well, you guys know what that is, right? That's a voiceover of Zach Ketchum feeding his red-tailed catfish, and
Jesus.
I don't know if you guys know, but Zach's from down here. And when I first started with Instagram, Zach had just started with Instagram. And, we used to do Shout for Shout Fridays where we'd shout each other out, and we each only had 1,000 followers or something. So it's funny now that I can go and do voiceovers of his stuff now that he's a superstar and on TV and all that stuff.
Superstar. He's actually just picked up some Waterland Co. glasses, and I wasn't even aware he had a little like a line going with him. That's awesome, man. I remember, like you said, when he was, I wouldn't say nobody, but just starting, and now he's got a line of glasses.
How do you like those, by the way? I've been dying to get a pair of them.
I just recently purchased the Ashers.
Launch.
Absolutely amazing, bro.
They're good.
Yeah, I think I'm going to invest in those soon. I need some new glasses.
Dude, let us know. We got our boy Ryan, this weirdo, has a code. He can hook us up, and we'll get you some money off of that for sure.
Like, yeah, man, appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely. So, Kev, tell us a little bit about you and what started you down your journey of fishing and brought you to where you're at?
Well, I grew up here in South Florida in Broward County, and I grew up on a canal in Cooper City, and
nice.
We were the ones that what's up, Jamarcus? We were the ones that were fishing with the little red worms with the little spinner at the top with the red bead.
Oh my gosh!
You remember those, dude?
Yeah.
And that's what we used to fish with, and mostly catching bass as a kid, and then a lot of peacock bass. Thanks, Lou. And then in my late teens, I started getting into other things that late teenagers start to get interested in, and wasn't fishing so much. Mm-hmm. And then I joined the military, so I was gone away for a while in the Army, and then I got back right after my 30th birthday, and it was then that I really started getting heavy into snook. So about 10 years ago, and it just became a thing where I just wanted to learn and spend time on the water, and it was so addicting that I couldn't stop. And here I am 10 years later with a business selling snook lures. So
that's
awesome.
Amazing, dude.
Yeah.
What was your first, like, when did you get hooked specifically on the species of snook?
What was the first?
Or was there like a moment that you're like, this is what I'm going to go for? Because you are around the peacock bass. I know that's not your favorite thing. You're like the land of the giants for the peacocks. But,
the peacock bass were like a consolation prize. Like if you can't catch a snook, you can go catch a peacock.
Peacocks,
you can get your hands slimy,
Yeah.
I'd probably have to say it was quite a while back, and I'm not super proud of this, but I'm going to go ahead and be candid on the web cast.
The truth.
It was on live bait. Was the first time I caught an overslot snook, and I think from that moment on, just the way they eat it, the fight, and just everything, and how hard it was to get to that first overslot. I had been fishing and fishing it for months without catching one, and then I finally caught it, and it was just like the dopamine blast, and I just wanted more and more. So, and that was almost 10 years. No, 10 years ago. Yeah, 10 years ago.
With that being said, man, thanks for coming tonight. We'll catch you next time. Yeah. No.
I see you guys.
Listen, I'll take a snook on live bait if I have to. I will.
See, the thing for me, the thing that when you really get hooked is the thump. They call it the thump for a reason.
Yes.
And I think why I'm so stuck on these, which everyone knows me as the pulse tail mullet.
Oh,
Right.
I think that's kind of, it is what it is at this point. But the way that a snook will hit this 8-inch pulse tail mullet, it will almost take the rod out of your hands.
Really?
You know, it's, and people say they hit jigs hard, which they do. They do thump jigs, you know, but something about the way that they hit this specific lure, it's just unreal, dude. Yeah, you know, like when I think Spencer talked about this last time. You ever played Little League baseball? You know, you're not quite gripping the bat right. When you make contact, it like rings your hands, dude. That's what it's like when you get thumped by a 40 on the pulse tail. It's so sick. It's, you know, it's an indescribable feeling, and it just keeps you coming back.
It does. It does. Now what you know, that's a pulse tail, right? And a lot of the Savage, you know, Savage Gear swim baits have that pulse tail vibe going on.
Correct.
What is that? What's the secret to the pulse tail?
All right.
Because there's not much movement to these baits. You're not going to get a wide glide, even though there's options there. But
if you look close at your tail that you're holding right there, go ahead and keep holding it. What it's actually called is a split fin pulse tail. You see that? You see that break going horizontally across? Right. The split fin pulse tail design is designed in a way that you get what we talked about prior to the broadcast. You get this perfect side-to-side action of the tail, but without the movement or any roll in the body. So all you get is tail. If you were to watch this in slow motion, all you would see is the tail perfectly going side to side. It's because of that split fin, and it's able to get a little bit of give within the tail itself, and then also the way that it channels the water, right? So as opposed to a paddle tail, which I have here, which is what your standard jig head soft plastic lure is that most people throw. So here I have an example in a Hen lure. You know, this is just a paddle tail, and what you'll get with a paddle tail is that roll, which can be because if you're there's a private place for everything. When you're slow rolling this on the bottom, that's a totally different scenario. But as far as the pulse tail mullet, it's that split fin pulse tail that allows it to get that perfect side to side action. You know, and it's great because it makes these really optimal for clear and or still water conditions. You know, this is something that you're going to throw in fast moving water or in a spillway or around an intercoastal bridge or an inlet. This is something that you can throw in the mangroves. You can throw along a seawall. You can throw in the middle of the day because of the appearance and the just incredible lifelike action. It really is your go-to daytime still or slow water bait.
That's awesome. That's good to know.
Interesting. Yeah, I noticed a lot of, like I said earlier, you know, I went through and watched literally every single one of your videos on YouTube, and most of it's a little different for me because I see a lot of snook guys popping them at night, and all of yours were during the day, and you're catching tanks, dude, tanks, tarpon, snook on that pulse tail. So like I was telling you earlier, dude, I've had some experiences. My fishing's just really slow up here. Throwing this little guy around in that crappie color that Andrew was just holding up.
Yeah, dude,
and them bass are hunting this thing down. Like this must give off some type of vibration that distracts fish from miles away.
It's a combination of things, I think. Well, for one, if you notice when you I just opened a few new packages for this video. These baits stink, dude.
Oh yeah,
that did a great job with incenting the fuse. There you go.
Yeah, oh god, I love that smell.
The scent. So the smell on these baits is incredible out of the package. So that's a factor. The realism, I mean, if you really sit down and look, the mullet has scales down its back. You have your bluegill there. They have very realistic. A lot of them are photo printed from real fish.
Yes.
I mean, so that's kind of what draws them in. Ryan says, don't eat it. It's tempting, like a little anchovy. It's salty and just
I don't want to, dude. The smell is ugh.
But also with that one in your hand, dude, those 3-inchers, that's like cheat code. If you're not getting any bites, you can put on that 3-inch bluegill and something's going to eat it. You know what I mean? Yeah. Just because of how small it is, it goes by a bass's face and he's like, oh, all right.
Have to. Yeah.
Yeah.
Have to.
Dude, I'm huge into like the small presentations, right?
Yep.
And like you guys also carry a couple of these. So this is the 3-inch Ned. And then this is the little what is it? A Shrino?
That's the Shrino by Hen Lures. So Shrino is They wanted to make a bait that was like a shrimp and like a minnow. So they just kind of got somewhere in the middle, and the Shrino was born.
Nice.
That to me looks like a drop shot dream, to be honest.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have a lot of fun with that, but I like the smaller profile, and I like the idea of working a smaller jig against any kind of structure where I'm at.
Yeah, and the feel of the hand lures plastic is pretty awesome, dude. Especially for like a drop shot situation, like you said, it's real fluid and bendy, and it holds.
You have a 4 or 5 there. Yeah, if you guys were putting these on a drop shot for bass, and you put a light jig head, like if I was doing bass, I'd go maybe with the 3/4 ounce, or even if I could find something lighter, because the whole way down, you're just going to get that nasty tail roll flutter all the way. There you go. You're going to go flutter all the way down. And then I know you don't have a tabletop in front of you, but if you take that 4 or 5 while it's rigged with the jig head and sit it down, it sits just like this.
No, it's doing it right now.
So it hits the bottom, and you've got a bait that's almost vertical. You pull, get a little tail drag kick, boom, right back down.
And I got a spillway. Me and Andrews fished it once. That I think this is gonna get just smoked at. Like bass are gonna smoke this thing, dude. I got big shad coming over the top of it. I'm talking like shad, like 12-inch shad. So I think I got another color here. I don't have it with me, but I think it's gonna get smoked out there.
I don't see why I wouldn't. Or that's where you throw a glide bait, and let it get under the shad, twitch, boom.
Now, speaking of that, would you throw something like the glide swimmer or the shine glide, or
for in the situation with the bass feeding on shad?
Yeah,
I would go shine glider. So what Andrew has in his hand is glide swimmer. Shine glider is your crappie.
Right.
I would throw that. I would throw that profile 100%. Yeah.
Gotcha. And you've caught big snook and tarpon and stuff on that too, correct?
I sure have. Yeah, it's a very niche thing. I've caught a lot of flack from people over it, of being like, oh, you can't catch snook on glide baits, but I do, and it's it's another one of those things. It was just part of my evolution as a snook fisherman, of going from like paddle tails to live targets to spool techs to pulse tails, and then after about a year of just hammering pulse tails, I finally started getting into the glides, and it was like I started catching a lot of snook on them.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, dang, no one else is doing this, and I'm catching snook in all the spots that people say are fished out, because I'm using this lure that no one else uses in a way that no one uses it. And that's just kind of how my glide thing began, and I couldn't stop. It was a very addictive way to fish.
I think you hit the nail on the head with you got to do something different sometimes.
Yes.
The fish don't necessarily leave, especially in like a spillway or a situation where water's coming and going. It tends to repopulate. For the most part. What is this guy doing?
It's like anything else. Like if you get, if every night you eat a Big Mac, and then tomorrow you have a Big Mac, and then the next day you have a Big Mac. Probably every time you drive by McDonald's, you're gonna go. So that friggin' snook that has seen 4,000 spool techs or flare hawk jigs go by its face, he just sees it and he's like, yeah, right.
Yeah, he probably would have been popped once too. Like not even.
But he sees that glide twitch in his face and he's like, oh, okay, let's see what's going on with this.
Exactly. I used the mullet for jacks. Oh, nice. Yeah, nice. So the jacks hit the pulse tails as well.
We actually have a guy on the West Coast who just started ordering from us. I'd have to look up his name, but he just put a big order. He likes the RTF mullets, not the line through. And he's been hammering snook on them, dude. Like
really?
Yeah.
And this is in Texas?
No, West Coast, Florida. Like I think
West Coast.
Like, somewhere in Lee County.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Do you know what kind of structure he's fishing, or is it open water? Is it beach, or?
I have no idea. I've just seen him put a couple mullet mustaches on them big snook over there. So
nice. Shout out to him. Now, what about these? Because these are the 6-inch dragon tails.
Yes,
but you got something a little bit different.
I do, and I can't. You know what I think they are? They're in a box that my computer's sitting on. But what we have, guys, for anyone who's into the dragon tails, we have 3-inch dragon tails. Little tiny things. They're called the dragon tail slug, and we have a whole stock of those. We never even made an announcement, but the full stock is live on Snook Snacks if you want to take a look and kind of see what they look like. Yeah.
And what would you do? How would you rig this? Like, what is somebody going to do with this?
Okay, so what you do with that is you get a big old like 10 or 11.0 VMC hook, like a big wide gap with a screw lock, with a screw lock.
Okay.
You screw it in, and then Andrew, if you look on the top, I don't know if you can catch it on the camera, but there's a indented ridge up there, right? It's like a recessed part. So you get your hook through, and instead of having to put your hook back into the body to get weedless, it just sits down into that ridge.
I was going to say the plastic in the very middle feels hard enough to hold it once it's through. Yeah.
It just sets right there, and you get this like awesome weedless concealed type of design. So, and you can do all kinds of stuff. What I've done too is I'll cut the head off with scissors, and I'll put it right onto a hen lure.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Interesting. And what are you guys doing with the little dragon tails? Just throwing them on like a Ned rig, or? We
just got them. We haven't even played with them yet. So we're kind of like, that's still like our new toy that we haven't taken out of the box yet. So,
man.
But the little ones, we're probably going to go weedless. We'll probably throw them primarily for bass and snakeheads. And they just have such a subtle action of the tail. It's not, I think a lot of people balk at these dragon tails, which are a very good bait, but they balk at them because they don't have a very outwardly, large movement or something. Like fishermen always want like a duck, or one of my buddies who lives on the West Coast, he just made a wake bait manatee. It is literally a manatee.
Dude, with like the algae on top and stuff.
Yeah, he even got the prop marks in his back.
Bro, you know that guy?
People, lures catch fishermen as much as they want that fish. So I think a lot of people balk at the dragon tail because it doesn't have that outward type of action, but it's a very effective bait. It has a very subtle movement of the tail. You put that on a weedless hook, run it around some lily pads. I mean, it's going to get cranked, dude. It's going to get cranked.
Are you familiar with Sam Root?
Yeah, he just did a thing on the 3-inch the other day.
He had the 3-inch. I think there's a 4-inch and a 5-inch, and it was all the Ned material.
Really?
Yeah.
See, I don't even. You're telling me about my products. I'm like, really?
Well, you're there under the box. You got an excuse. I get it.
Yeah.
No, I'm just like, but he's been crushing it on the dragon tails.
Yeah.
And he does a lot of solo missions, but he films everything. Everything's cast to catch, and it's solid. And he's going out after 70, 80 pound tarpon.
Dude,
overslot reds.
Love that thing. It's so weird. Not a lot of people are throwing them. I know we had one guy, Jeremy Oso. He's up north. He was trying them for a while, but I don't think he ever had any luck. And he kind of, you know how it is. You throw a lure for a few days and it doesn't get hit, and you're like,
Yeah.
But we've had tarpon hit the hell out of those 8-inch dragon tails. Haven't had any hookups. But we've jumped them, and they definitely attract attention.
I bet they think it's like a ladyfish or something out there.
Yeah,
a smaller ladyfish or something.
Yeah.
Now, are these a floating lure? Like if I do this on a weightless, like say like a 7 or 8 aught EWG, the 6-inch.
Not really. I don't know. Even just the weight of the hook, I think, is going to bring it down a little bit.
Okay.
But some of the newer baits, like the new frogs. Have you guys seen the Duratec toads?
I've seen them online, not in person just yet.
Those are TPE material, and they are floating. They are an actual floating frog.
That's so Sam went out, and I saw Sam's video on that too.
Very cool, because I personally like the hollow body frogs because they float. You can pop it around a lily pad and pause it. And how many hits have you guys gotten on the pause?
Almost all of them. Yeah.
Yeah. So with this one, you have this just awesome paddle tail, and at any point you can just stop it, wait 3 or 4 seconds, and just keep going. So it's a very, very cool design.
Versatile frog too, and that TPE material, like I said, I'm very familiar with it. It's quite durable too. I'm sure you can catch tons of fish on just one of those toads.
If you guys don't follow, there's a guy on Instagram. His name is his handle is Arabian Pirate, and he's been throwing them, and he went all day catching big snakeheads on one frog.
No way.
Yeah, all day.
Really?
And it doesn't tear like your normal horny toad, where once you kind of rip it up,
almost one and done. Yeah. Interesting. No, I definitely got to get my hands on some of those frogs. I'm a big shallow water guy. I want to throw over some pads and some mats and stuff.
You want to see them? You want me to grab one real quick?
Yeah. If you don't mind. Oh, snooker, hooker, what's going on, bud? Appreciate you, man. And you are right, Ryan. They got that eel profile looking.
Yeah.
Dude, I want to put this on a weightless hook and just like almost fluke it for bass and see what happens.
All right. So here you go.
Oh,
Another cool
yes.
thing about these is they come in packs of 3. So you got 3 bodies. And
Man, that must be super durable.
And again, it smells like fucking anchovies in there.
Yeah. Oh, nice. They're in like the same little case. Okay.
Yeah, and you get a shell, which a lot of people don't do this, man. But this a really good practice for these baits, especially pulse tails that you don't want them changing shape. Put it back in your clamshell. It even has a little locks right there.
Yeah.
Pop it in and stick it back in your bag.
Dude, that's huge, man. That's huge.
So, comes with your hook.
No way. It already comes with a hook.
The hook has the little stopper there to keep it in
Nice.
place. And then the frog itself, like I said, TPE material. It's floating. And dude, look.
Dude, that is a pretty good bodied looking frog, man. Looks better like you showing it me here.
It's got the little like dermal ridges in the back.
Yeah, dude.
Damn.
Even got a little tail sort of thing built in.
Yeah. What the hell is that?
Listen,
You know. So
well, junk in the trunk ain't never hurt no one.
That's okay. Yeah.
but this is what it's all about right here. And
Right.
you know, you can hook and re-rig this frog. That hook goes through and comes out, and like you can't even find where the hole is. You know what I mean? Like this material is almost impossible to break.
Dude, that is a ready to fish frog. Holy crap. I was not aware it came with a hook too.
Yeah, I think the pack is like $9. So, you know, if you compare that to your standard hollow body frog,
It's about the same price.
yeah.
Yeah, dude. And you're gonna get way more love out of that right there than that hollow body. And you basically have a hollow body with some kicker on the back.
Sam
Wait a
Ruby's lot
second.
better at this than I am.
Hang on a second. So if we have a 3D scan of this actual bait, can we explain what that nub is? The little tidbits.
It looks like
That's
one of those.
that booty meats, y'all.
That's that booty
That
meats.
A1 filet mignon.
Yeah.
So there it is rigged up. You got the little the knob, the little bait keeper, and you're
That's
in.
awesome.
And
That's
that
huge.
TPE is so soft that you get that hook up and boom, your hook
It's
is right
going. Yeah.
there. You know,
Holy smokes.
so cool new bait right there too. So much new stuff. Wait till you guys see all the new color glide baits that are coming in the next few weeks.
Oh
You're
my
gonna-
gosh,
you're gonna
dude.
flip, dude.
Please let us know. Now, those pulse tails you have there are 2 of the new colors too. Do you want to talk about them real quick?
Yeah, sure. So these are the 2 new colors for 2022, and this one is called the Plum Chartreuse.
I
As you
like
can
that
see,
one.
It's crazy, right?
I like that one.
Dude, I lost a 40 on this lure today. I was so hurt.
That's
Because you know what? Have you heard us with the top hook versus bottom hook debate that we have going on? Like, it's the eternal flame of snook fishing arguments.
I
Top
have.
hook versus bottom hook.
What I'm
Like
going
a-
bottom.
as far as the line through
For
goes.
those
trouble on
that
top.
don't know or maybe aren't familiar with these baits, these are line through baits. The line goes through. Hold on, I keep getting pop-ups and then I can't see you. The line goes through, and you can either direct it to come out the top or you can direct it to come out the bottom, depending if you want to fish shallow waters, you're probably going to put it on top. So whatever conditions. And the guys in our pro staff are staunch top hook advocates. Myself and Spencer are bottom hook guys. But I've been running top hook just to try to get that element to my game. And I lost a 40 on it today. And I blame
It's
it
because
all
of
on
this
the
top
top
hook.
hook, dude.
Yeah.
It's all top hook.
You're convinced.
100%.
Wow.
So
Definitely the
Vince,
top hook.
Fernando, and everyone else, I blame you guys. I hate your guys, and I'll never forgive you. All right.
Oh man.
So this one is called the White Chartreuse. I feel like it's not showing well in that light.
Dude, that thing is just lit up. Yeah. It's showing great actually. Is there like flake in it?
Those are actual sparkles. Look,
Holy crap. Okay, it's shining now good.
what you guys are going to want this one for is murky water, low light conditions, dawn and dusk, or even at night. This could also be fished at night, but when the fish start running the beach and the big snook are pushing on the beach and the tarpon are on the beach, this is going to be the killer right here. Come on, Sebastian. Bottom hook, bro. You guys kill me. You guys kill me.
So that white one is something you would probably throw on the beach because you're also I noticed. Do you know Nate?
Nate, Supreme Fishing.
Yeah.
Yes.
Interesting. I've been following him for a very long time. He is a peacock king, man. And I thought that was him on. Was that him on the beach with you that day?
Yes.
Okay.
When we were jumping the big tarpon. Yeah, Nate's
Yeah.
a good kid, man. He's a young kid who's put a lot of time and energy, and we did spend a lot of time fishing together. And we were kind of on the same path where we were both guys who wanted to figure it out on our own. And I have a heck of a lot of respect for Nate. You know, he's put in a lot of time, and 90% of what he knows is because he figured it out. And I have nothing but respect for guys like that.
Yeah. Shout out to Nate, Supreme Fishing. I think he's changed his name up to something else now, but. Yeah, but I mean, I've been following that guy, and kind of like what you said, it doesn't seem like he's had much help. It seems like he just gets out and fishes, man, and I think that's what it's all about. That's what you guys do,
Self-taught, man. Me and him were each other's soundboards for a while, and we would just come to each other with just their most random ideas of, whatever, dude. I think they weren't hitting because the wind was from the north southeast, and the water was had an up current and it was a little brown and it was 87 degrees and not 86 degrees. Like we went through all of the progressions of that line of thinking to like kind of figure things out. So
nuts.
Yeah, he's a good dude, man.
That's awesome. There's not a lot of guys that can, bounce ideas off and still do what they need to do to be who they are. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Not trying to like back somebody's swag or steal somebody's way of doing something. So shout out to Nate for being an original player in the game. And
that's such a big element to the fishing game that I think a lot of people lose is that you learn a little something from everyone you meet along the way. And that's how it's supposed to be, man. An exchange of flow and ideas and make the people around you better. And now it does not equate to I'm going to tell you my spot and what time to go there and what corner to throw the lure at. But you can learn something from everybody along your fishing journey,
Absolutely.
Yeah. I kind of want to touch on something real quick. I find I'm over here playing with all these lures, right?
Dude, he is a tinkerer and a thinker. Let me tell you, Kev. This guy can keep you on this all night long.
My computer's kind of far, so I'm like leaning in.
It's okay.
I'm pinching this, right? And it is such a realistic feel.
Dude, yeah.
To an actual fish.
Like
even when you squeeze it and like go down, you feel the scale indents. You feel what you would feel like as the muscle. Like there's no way a fish is grabbing this and letting it go right away.
No.
No.
Did you see that video recently? I think it was Tackle Warehouse. They posted a video. They had one of those, and they were running it. They let it hit the bottom. It sits on his chin, kind of like the hen lure.
Yeah,
the bass comes up and grabs it by the back, and you think, oh, shoot, he didn't get the hook. And then he doubles down and eats the whole thing. So, yeah, absolutely. Yeah. The texture and the actual printing, like the scales are not painted on; they're printed.
No. Yeah, and it's in the lure. It's the softness or the firmness of the plastic itself.
The gill plates are raised.
Everything to it.
Yeah, like it's the eyes. It's beautiful.
And it's another super cool feature. This is like the dumbest thing. Like no one ever notices it, but this is one of the first things I noticed about the pulse tail mullet and love to this day. These are not plastic eyeballs. These eyes are painted on. How many times have you got a brand new lure and after 10 minutes of fishing, you went, damn it, I lost an eyeball? These are painted on. So those eyes are not going anywhere, no matter how hard.
That's the point for me where I would buy a lure that had those fake eyes on it and I would take them off because I knew they were inevitably going to fall off.
Or I used to take them off and put super glue.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. I tried super glue, but it still come off at some point. I would always just Sharpie it up. I always have a Sharpie on me and just freaking draw it on there.
Draw it on.
Yeah. Well, another thing like I like to do is kind of accentuate like that dot.
Yeah.
On most of my shad lures, I'll make that a little bit bigger, and it kind of gives them something to key in on a little bit. I've found. But
did Spencer ever send you the threadfin shad glide bait? It's a threadfin shad color, and it has that black dot on it.
No, not the glide. We got a bunch of the soft plastic stuffs.
We'll talk after the podcast. We're getting some in. We'll get you started.
Okay, we will talk. But now it's funny you talk about the shine glide. I got a guy out here. His name's Fred, who throws the golden shiner color shine glide. And dude, that's his one rod, one bait, one reel. Like he just rides out with that dude and smashes giant bass on it. So I know those glide baits are killer for bass. I've seen you guys kill them on snook and tarpon. And dude, the pulse tail mullet, what I just witnessed today and watched, Andrew, blew my freaking mind, dude. Some of the fish you hooked into, dude, were giants, bro. Giants, man. And dude, you freaking, I love your adventure aspect of it too. I seen how y'all got the lures under the bridges.
Yeah, the pipes.
Dude. Yeah, the gangsta method. No, but dude, I mean, seeing you guys and having fun is just awesome to me, man. Some guys take it a little bit too serious, you know, but you guys look like you're to have a ball on the water, dude, and just have a good time. So thanks for being cool guys and cool guys in the industry, because there's not a lot of us.
Man.
Yeah, man. Listen, the point of fishing, and I'm sure why a lot of us started fishing, and why I still do it to this day, is it's my happy place. It's where I go to reset. It's where I go to get back to normal. You know, as myself, as an Army veteran, I'm a combat veteran. I have 2 combat tours. I won't take any medications the VA gives me and stuff like that. So where I go to get right is out on the water with a fishing pole. And it's what I enjoy. So, you know, there's no room for the negativity and the hate that we do unfortunately see a lot in the fishing community. But what you'll kind of find is that usually that's from younger kids. You're usually looking at like teenagers or just people that are outright trolls. But the majority of the fishing community, I think, is pretty darn good and
pretty strong. Yeah.
Have you ever gone out with like Heroes on the Water or anything like that?
I got invited to an event and I didn't go.
Dude,
I should have gone. I know. I felt bad.
You need to go, man. I used to volunteer in Northeast Florida with the Northeast Florida chapter a lot, and the most rewarding thing for me was literally getting a direct relation with empowering somebody that was struggling to just feel at one with themselves out on the water. It was really, really rewarding. 100%. Yeah.
It's super fun.
From your perspective, you're just gonna meet a lot of great people that genuinely care about you. You know what I mean? So yeah, I think it would be a cool experience.
I should have done it. I was kind of working with Team RWB. I don't know if you're familiar, but I was doing some stuff with RWB down here, and then I used to own a gym, and they would come work out at my gym. And we're supposed to do Heroes on the Water with them, and I never did it. Maybe I'll look into it again. Give me a push, Andrew. Now that you called me out. Yeah, so
dude, he'll do it, man. If anything, Andrew will motivate you to get off your ass, man. I promise, bro. He's done it for me many a time. So shout out to Andrew for being an inspiration.
No, and now I'm like tinkering. Like this is the little bruiser Ned head. It like fits so perfectly up against.
Oh, the thing is sick, dude. Who makes that?
Bruiser Baits. It's just a little tiny Ned head. Yeah, and it's got a keeper on there. I mean, it's locked up.
Boy.
I'm glad you brought that up. So that's your 3-inch Ned minnow, right?
There it is. Yeah.
Look at what I got home.
Oh boy.
This is the new 4-inch Duratech Ned.
Dude.
Okay, I want that too.
You know what's messed up is I've already got stuff in my cart. I don't like you guys right now.
Dude, every time we have a podcast,
credit card information, baby, and click buy. Ship it right out to you. But this is that TPE Duratech material too. So this is a bait. Again, you get 4 of these in a package, and one of them's going to last you all day unless you hang it up in a tree, which is usually where mine will end up before I'll do it.
That's where the fish are, man. Down near the trees.
You got to make that sacrifice to the tree right quick. And then after you do that, then you can start catching fish.
Yeah. Pay your respects to the nature and let it take from you, and then it will give.
You know what it is for me and Spencer when we go out fishing? I have to hit a curb in my truck. Once we hit that curb, he's like, "All right, now we're gonna catch some fish."
About to get tight. That's funny. One more quick thing I saw you doing, and you did a little instructional video on your YouTube about skipping those pulse tails.
Mm-hmm.
First of all, shout out to your skipping skills, unless you did some awesome editing, because, dude, you were on point, my boy. You were getting them right in there. And second of all, break that down just a little bit. I'm going to assume it's the same with bass fishing. You want to start to skip earlier. You want to start with like a low angle at it, and you want to start it skipping. And why skip? Just run through that really quick for us.
All right. Couple reasons. And I'm obsessed with the skipping technique. All right. And I don't know if anyone else really does it, but as far as the physical aspect of it, just like skipping a rock, you want it to hit if this is the water, right? you want your pulse tail mullet to be coming at an almost parallel angle and hit as soft,
Right.
like barely into the water.
Literally skips the water. Yeah.
That trajectory should be as acute,
Ooh.
not obtuse, as acute as possible, as close to the water. And as soon as you want it to hit sooner, sometimes you can let it hit a little bit farther out. And the main reason I do it for snook is two reasons. One is to get it into places that you couldn't otherwise cast to. If you've got a fence that's hanging this low, and on the other side of that fence, here's the water, here's the fence. On the other side of that fence is some hot water coming out of pipe, and there's a snook down there. You got to skip it under. There's no other way. And then the second reason I do it is because, and if you've ever spent time in salt water, and all my snook guys know, that when a mullet is fleeing, not when a mullet's jumping, because you'll see mullet just jumping for, I don't even know why, but when a mullet is fleeing, it has a different action. It's jumping out of the water, and it's here and there. So if I know that there's a low-hanging tree over there with a rock or an ambush point around it, and I throw this almost 4-ounce lure, and it plops down in his face, he's not going to eat it, bro. He's going to haul ass.
Yeah.
So I'm skipping it. So he hears it from a distance. He hears a mullet jumping, and the next thing he knows, it's
there
right
he
in
is.
front of my face. Come on. And a lot of times, the fish I have caught while skipping, it'll be skip, close my bail, 1, 2, on. They hit it like almost
really
as
quick.
soon as it starts to sink down.
Really? What setup are you throwing that on?
I'm throwing that on an 8.6 Savage Gear rod, a musky rod rated for 40 to 80 pound line with a Lexa 400. Currently with 80 pound test, braid to 100 pound mono leader.
Nice.
But usually I've thrown 65 pound braid, but still it's 100 pound leader. I don't go below 100. I don't care if it's crystal clear water in the middle of the day. I'm throwing 100.
Gotta have 100. Yeah.
I've lost too many big fish to risk it.
To risk that.
You should make a shirt that just says "Keep it 100."
Keep it 100, bro. That's
Yeah, literally.
the $5 spool of Andes. No $40 fluoro spool. Give me the $5 Andes mono, bro. Good to go.
That's it. Keep
And
it
it
100.
works. Huh? That's funny. No, the skipping was super cool. I saw you doing it. I'm like, man, this guy is skipping this ginormous bait like it ain't nothing, dude. Like, dude, your skip game is strong, man.
Once you get it going, it's like it's running across the water,
Dude, you make it look so effortless.
That's definitely an element that if you have the time and patience and don't mind picking out bird's nests from your bait caster, take the time and try to learn to skip, whether it's for bass or snook. It's just going to allow you to get into spots that you can't otherwise get a bait to, and it's also going to attract the fish in a way, especially snook. I don't know about bass, but just because of the way that mullet flee, and they hear it skipping towards them from a distance, they know a mullet's coming their way.
At 100 pound leader, how long of a leader are you tying on?
So I like to tie a long leader, usually the length of my rod.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So I'll tie, from the tip of just enough that I can hook it up without the FG not going back through the guide. So probably about 7
inches. Oh man, God, yeah. I'm getting hurt right now. FG knot is like the one knot that just like that's my bugaboo knot.
Has it like eluded you? Like
it's not only eluded me. I've never successfully tied it.
I've tied a few, but it's taken me like 4 hours. Like I just got to get better at it, man.
Bro, FG knot is just paramount.
Do you use tension when you tie yours?
Practice. Very little, actually. And I've seen people talk about you need all this tension, and
like people have it in their toes and stuff, and
you don't have to, because an FG knot works on the same mechanism that Chinese finger traps work.
Right.
You put your finger in there, and what happens when you pull it apart?
It locks.
It gets tighter.
Yeah.
And that's the same thing with an FG knot. So even if you're not cinching down every loop, by the time you do get to the end and you pull, it's only getting tighter. So you don't have to go crazy with the tension.
Definitely 100 pound leader. Definitely keep it 100.
Keep it, dude. Let's make that shirt, man. Let's make a NextFish Snook Snacks collaboration. Keep it 100.
We should do it.
I'm in.
Let's do it. Andrew, write that down. I haven't said that in a long time.
I want to do like keep it 100 on the back, and then on the front and on the back, right in the shoulder blades, have like a little Chinese finger lock, just says "get tight."
Oh my God,
that's right down the sleeve. FG for me.
Just an FG. Oh God, we're out of control.
Listen, you don't want to talk business ideas with me. I'll have you spending money on the dumbest crap.
Oh, try us.
I love it, dude.
Try. All I'm going to say is we have a bear claw arm. Okay, I'll leave it at that. That's where we're at.
Has something to do with the right to bear arms, or
No, well,
No.
you'll see shortly. Do you have any with you?
what?
You should.
The bear.
Sudsy?
Oh, Sudsy.
Bear arms, or are we talking about firearms, or are we talking about leader? I'm totally lost now.
We're actually talking about. You see on our NextFish Live down here, off to my left, all the way at the bottom. You see that little circle with a little bear trying to get some honey? Sudsy bear?
Yes.
Dude, so we work. Oh my gosh, he brought the mother load. We work with this guy. Look at this stuff.
I've got it in Ziplocs for my personal.
Taking
With
over,
scrubs.
dude.
We've got
Really cool, like manly soaps, man. I never thought NextFish would venture into like the personal care, but
Yeah.
dude, I'm telling you,
You know,
bro,
we just released some beard oil.
for us real men,
I
you
can
know?
use that
And
shit.
for guys like me that can't really grow a beard, you can use it as cologne because it's the same chemical makeup.
It does
Yeah.
have a good smell.
No, but that's where that came from, and that's why we have a random bear claw.
We got shampoo
Nice.
bars.
Well, hey, if you guys need someone to test that on after for us after a night at the spillway,
Bro,
we'll let you know if that soap works.
We got to
It
give them
does.
some. It really does. We got to give them some of that with the grit in it.
yeah.
There's different like formulas and stuff with like grit and like exfoliants and stuff. Dude, I'm telling you, it gets the stank off.
I'm down, man. Hey, I'm serious about that shirt too. Let's do that, man.
I'm very serious, but I don't think dude, you're gonna hang tight with us because we went a little bit past our time. But Kevin, I want to thank you for taking some time out of your night. We're gonna put you in the back room. Stay there, don't leave, because we're gonna talk about this shirt.
All right.
Oh,
Andrew, what the freak is that? There it is. It's so bad. It's not even good.
it's gonna be epic.
It looks like a mummified sloth hand. Like it doesn't even look like a bear claw.
Yeah.
But dude, that's the Canal Cowboy, the one and
What a
only,
show.
dude. Doing big things with the
Yeah.
PTM, the pulse tail mullets. Man, shout out to the boys over at Snook Snacks, man. Showing mad love and just being cool people and able to talk to and bounce ideas off of and just learn from, man. And
You're just
I just appreciate
good
it.
people.
They are. Everybody at Snook Snacks. Shout out to y'all. Shout out to Hen Lures for making some dope, like little swim bait deals here. We got the 5-4. This one's just calling my name, man. Something about the 5-4 for me is calling it.
So we were talking about the packaging, and even with the jig head on, it still fits right back in the package.
Yeah, I love lures and soft plastics that come with the little capsules
Yeah.
for keeping the shape. You know, that is huge on a lot of lures, especially that TPE material. Again, I've had some experience with it. Dude, don't let it touch any other material. Rule
Right.
number 1, keep it by itself and keep it in the capsule to keep it shape for sure.
Yeah.
If you guys get those lures, remember those 2 things. Don't let it touch any other plastics and keep it in the capsules. What's that?
Until next time, guys.
Thanks for tuning in.
I'm pulsing
Thanks.
off.
Pulse
I'm getting
off.
Pulse off.
Pulse off, players.
Pulse off.